The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. For the most intriguing wrestling stories and info on independent shows in multiple regions, nobody does it like We Talk Wrestling. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Why is there a blank space above me?
Oh yeah, I forgot the party horn, right? I'm assuming that it's going okay. I forgot to plug in my headphones too, so we're all still trying.
We're having a blast here. Apparently.
We are having a blast here. We are having a blast. In fact, we're going to remove this here, and we're going to remove this here, and I'm going to find a better shot here eventually. Here, guys. We thank you very much for joining us here tonight. This is officially episode number 194 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast here, as we are coming back. We're fresh off the heels from this weekend. Big weekend for us and for the entire town of St. Louis when it comes to wrestling. And we are here live. And make sure, for those who are watching the show, make sure you're sharing that show and letting everybody know that we are here live to talk about everything. Of course, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby here at the top of the row here right now. Of course, the Gem City Mouse Zmiz right below me, right below him, of course, the one and only GQ, one of our OGs here on the podcast here, because me and GQ were the ones that launched everything, and apparently,
I'm an OG, but not Stevie B. Anyway,
yeah, right. Apparently, Austin Cage was too dirty of a heel that the internet's now allowing him to join our booth here. So he's having some technical issues, but hopefully
we're all suffering from weekend hangovers. What it is. So
yes,
I don't think he was a heel enough So
Yeah, that's what it is. It's karma coming back to him. He was too nice over the weekend. That's what it was. That's the real problem.
Like, why are you such a pansy? Oh shoot, but we're having fun here today, and it actually I've actually well, let's kind of talk about the recap here as far as with last night's concerned. Of course, GQ, you had some other obligations after our show here, so you had to take off, which is cool. But you missed a good wrestling card. But I'll tell you what, man, me and Zmiz and the lovely wife went out to a nightcap with getting something to eat at one of the local establishments around close to that hotel, which is a place called Yesterday's Bar and Grill. And I've been there several times myself back in the day, and they're still around. And man, I'll tell you, their food does not disappoint to this day.
Nope,
So.
no, that taco salad hit the mark.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
and I was going to touch on that today though too, because there are still some on the indies that believe in what we were talking about with Mac Davis during that, and it's just there's so many that don't, so everything else just gets overlooked on it. But there are still some. Trust me, I've had to be walked to my car quite a few times and all that, make sure I got out of town and easily enough. So Ruby knows the areas that I was at for that. So
it was good having Mac at the desk with us for a little bit yesterday. That was a blast getting us finally sit down. I see him as like a podcast mentor in some sense. So yeah, it was really fun to get to sit down and go one-on-one with him and talk our points of views, and I loved it. I love hearing about the old school mixing with the new and learning from both sides of the fence. It's beautiful. FanFest 3 was amazing. I'm still hyped.
Awesome. So we welcome all your comments, your questions, anything else. I mean, like I said, it's just been a long and delightful weekend. But yet somehow went by quick, if that makes any sense at all. But I was, just in the relish of it all. Is sitting there yesterday's talking about the weekend, and the best thing to watch at the bar was competitions on ESPN's Ocho's channel. Slippery stairs
to Tetris.
Tetris competitions. We're sitting here like, yeah, Karen.
Dude, it was so awesome. I loved everything about it. Cheesefish, you should have won.
Well, what was it? It was a girl who was playing Tetris. She was 14 years old, and her
Cheesefish.
Cheesefish was her handle. I'm like,
yeah, and dog beat her. So we were arguing about wrestling in the afternoon, watched a great wrestling show in the evening, and then we got to sit at a bar, have great food from yesterday's, and watch Tetris battles.
And the way that they were holding their controllers, it's like you thought they were like trying to play the flute or.
Oh, dude. Do I have my? I do. Okay, this is gonna seem really weird and like planted.
We were watching Tetris competitions. How much weirder is it gonna get?
I got the controller. Like I legitimately have a controller on my desk. But they were holding the controller like this. How do you play video games like this? We all know what this is. We all know they were holding it like it's a Guitar Hero guitar. We're here to talk wrestling, but still.
All right, no. But Mad Mac Davis has checked in. Herb Simmons has checked in here, and like I said,
our good friend Alan's checked in here, who helped us out
here. Which, by the way, guys, I didn't want to be too much of a distraction. Only a few people know, but my car totally shot the craps Thursday, and left me pretty much into dire straits on how to get my equipment there, how to get things set up. And I was running more than usual. Pretty much exhausted me by the end of the our broadcast yesterday, and my body was sore more than usual. So due to that is just the fact I did not want to compete yesterday in Battle Royal, but my body was just telling me, no, you can't even do that. So as much as I hated to sit at the sideline, That's
we had a good
pretty
time.
much what I wanted. That's pretty much what I did. But yeah. So now I get the joyful task of finding a way how to get this car fixed within the next couple of days.
You got this, buddy.
Yeah. If anybody's got a money tree floating around, just let me know. I'm going to go hunt it and pick from what I could from it. And I'm also going to steal seeds because I'm going to plant my own in the backyard. So,
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yes, and I did say steal. I'm not too proud to beg or 90. What possession is 90% of the law,
Something
or
like
something like that.
The most promoters when you steal their belt. I'm just saying,
Well, let's not get into shady promoter stories. We were kind of lightly talking about that off camera yesterday. So, you may not have been around, but I know about a whole shady stories. But one promoter, I'll tell you what though, honest to God, promoter that's been true to his word all the time in all these years, and I will testify. Herb Simmons, the guy who is honest, and there's legends that will testify to that as well.
That's the dude.
Yeah, that Herb is true to his word.
That's the dude. 100%.
Yeah, so I mean, Herb's kind of the measuring stick when it comes to promoting around the area here. So,
and also a measuring stick of putting on events like this. We know there's been other events, previously before FanFests and everything. There was like the fiasco in St. Charles that had Piper and a few others that did not do well.
Yeah,
and there's just so much stuff and everything. But Herb knows how to do it, and he's got the right people helping him and everything. Like especially again, like the Friday night stuff with Bill Apter and the Q&A session.
Oh, that was great.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah. Before we get too far into it, I do want to do a shout out to Wyatt. Happy birthday, Wyatt! Thanks for continuing to watch us week after week, buddy. And I'm glad that you chose to at least to tune in some, watch us throughout each week, and we appreciate you, bud. Thanks for tuning in.
Wyatt's the dude. Happy birthday!
Yeah. So, we got some shots here. We got some news here. As far as like what's happened this past week, and the Q&A though, which by the way was airing on SICW All Star Wrestling before we came on the air here this evening.
Yes,
they were airing that.
Yeah, it was a good little thing.
I mean, I had to cut away. I don't know if they showed the thing in its entirety. I don't know how long they made the episode tonight, so I did have to cut away so I can get ready for here. But what an enjoyable
Mr. Wrestling 2.5 even showed up.
Yeah, Mr. Wrestling 2.5. Giving a serenade that only Barry Manilow wishes he could do even better. So,
Why do I have a funny feeling? I think I know who Wrestling 2.5 is.
The host of the
yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Come on,
it was funny though. I do like it though. I always kind of wanted. Was the one man show last year kind of like it wasn't more character? I mean, he only did the one song though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he tried to do some sing-alongs on our show.
Oh, I know. What was it? It was. Who was at our table that I said about it's not a karaoke showdown? Was it Bill Apter and good Lord, who was also I forgot who else was at our table.
Tom Simon.
Oh yes, thank you, Tom Simon. Yes, thank you.
So I actually probably experienced this before you guys have. I was in town for some reason, and I was at a local establishment, Murphy's on 21, and Tom Simon brought Bill Apter there. Bill Apter has his own thumb drive for his karaoke stuff to do. He brings it everywhere with him. And I had the privilege to see him do his karaoke live then.
So
that's sick.
So what special boot did he? Which leg did he wear that special boot on? The bootleg.
Stop it! Stop it!
It's all right. It's all right, man.
Ish, how you doing, sir?
Ismail, good to see you, man. And
There it is.
and like I said, Austin Cage is having issues getting on here, so I guess he's kind of thrown in the towel as far as making any more attempts here tonight. But I'll tell you what, to have 4 hosts that have been on this show to meet all at once and do the show at a remote show on location, to do it at the Fan Fest, man, I'll tell you, it. I was really excited and really happy to see that go well. I mean, we had so many guests that came by. First, with the wrestlers coming by to start off here with from American Hostile Championship Wrestling. We had Bullwhip Balor coming on.
Oh boy!
Then we had the tag team champions.
Legitimately too good.
Legitimately too good.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
we had somebody that I pulled that I saw that I recognized. The one and only is still real to me, damn it, guy.
Oh yeah,
David Will.
That was fun to have David on the show. That was actually a blast.
And you would never know he had that great of a voice. Definitely for radio, radio hosting and everything like that. He had that perfect voice. And you would not have known that from that YouTube clip from years ago. You would not have known it from that.
No, it's still real to me, damn it, too, though.
It's always real to me. I don't know what y'all are talking about. It's always real to me.
It's always real.
It's pretty much, our bodies tell us how real it is, though, too. So, and that's the point that he was making on it, though, too, which I feel we'll get to that. We're still talking about Friday night, though, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, we're kind of talking about Friday
We're just
night.
Openly talking, yeah.
Yeah.
Friday night before the Bill Apner show, we walked in, and I'll show off one of my treasures. I showed it off at the show. Been carrying it around. So I unfortunately did not listen to Matt Cardona as I watched his toy hunt videos. And he told me not to get and he told everyone not to get the LJN bug. I have. So now I have in my possession a baby Kamala. And I love it. I love it so much. So.
Despite the fact of what he's done in the business, me and Z alone would probably mark out big time to have Matt Cardona on here just talk about.
Oh, bro, dude. I would cry. So Kamala, you're going to go right over here by DDP. Hold the WWF bowling ball, make sure it doesn't fall over. So.
Did you show Herb's last message by chance?
No, I was talking about that when that came in, but I'll do that now.
I didn't know.
I will do that now because, yes, we found out some great information from Jerry Briscoe, saying that Mr. Promoter of the Year, all that stuff that we feel, Herb Simmons doing the greatness that he's always done. He booked Abraham Lincoln's first match.
Yeah, but what Jerry Briscoe did not say was he was the match against Abe Lincoln.
You can't say that, man.
I was with a John person reference.
Hey, if Mac Davis is still watching, though, too, and Teddy Long was the referee for it.
Stop it. You're going to get us in trouble.
No, I think Mac Davis will know what I'm trying to do here and be the heel, so.
Yeah. A true one.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, I got other stuff. We got...
Yeah, you got other.
I do. I got a little Dude Love from a pop.
Oh, where's that one at here?
You got him?
I got him. Is he it? Yeah, right here.
Yeah. These are now going to be treasures that you could have got if you would have came, because
but you didn't, so you lost out. So it's always next year. So,
but yeah, you lost out, but I didn't lose out on these two great guys. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got to go stand by their table for a little bit because this is from my childhood. These guys shaped my aspect of wrestling and opened the doors for me to go back in time and look at your guys' generation of wrestling. The first one being one half of the greatest tag teams of all time. Broke into ECW, all that stuff. But Devon Dudley, Sign Fig, beautiful, loving it. So... I can't wait to put that on the shelf. Then the cream the crop right here, the original Bloodline member, the OG of OGs, Mr. Quiche. But I got my Sultan signed because Sultan had a special place for my heart, and I love Rikishi, but this is how we all got introduced to him in WWE.
No, Head Shrinkers was for me.
Head Shrinkers was too, but like how I remember him coming on, I had to go back and look at their Head Shrinker stuff. So sorry, which sucks because the Head Shrinkers arguably probably would have been one of my favorite tag teams of that era if I would have been in that timeline.
No, yeah, I agree 100%.
So, I mean, I'm still disappointed that we didn't get the supposable rumor that was happening that we were going to get Rikishi, Rosie, and Jamal as a unit at one time in WWE. That could have been a gem. And then my last fig, and we're going to open this one because I'm going to put it on the shelf because the box is all dinged up and I don't like boxes being dinged up. The greatest manager of all time, the greatest commentator of all time, just the best. There's no argument. You can't fight it. GQ will try to argue with me about things, but this one is one we both agree on.
I was going to say.
But I got the ferret.
Wait
Bobby
a minute,
the Brain
how would
Heenan.
I argue that? I always say Bobby Heenan's number one now.
Anytime you and I argue about anything wrestling like that, you'll go right to Bobby Heenan. I'm like, I agree with you. You don't even have to argue with me with that one. Like, we're on the same page. Bobby's the bomb. You can't.
We'll argue on number two though, being Percy Pringle, but that's just me.
Mine would probably be
I said
Paul
Percy,
Heyman.
not Paul. So.
Yeah, mine would probably be Paul Heyman actually as the second. So there's that. But that's my gift. Well, I do got another signed Rikishi. That's for Chase though. Chase wanted to get his Rikishi signed. So, and I have another fig, but I can't find him to fill out one of my tag teams. But I don't know where Eric went, so that's a problem.
Yeah, that is a problem.
You notice though, now let's talk about like the guests for a second here.
Yeah.
From the previous years, you had, and that was curious for a second. You bring this one up.
That was beautiful.
You gotta admit, though, if you think about it, a fan that has his own T-shirt and actually sells them. Because that's actually a caricature shirt of him, like with the whole "It's real to me, damn it."
Oh yeah, of course.
That he was wearing, wasn't
I
he?
have one ordered that would be here. So anyway, but the previous year, the biggest name that was anywhere on the, if you want to look at current stuff, was JBL the first year. But we still had a lot of other legends, Tugboat, and everybody like that. The next year, we had a little bit bigger ones. We had Godfather here, or nope.
We had Papa Shango. I never saw Godfather there. I don't know why you guys
look
keep
at the
saying
ones
that.
we had this year that were, big names, more current for current products. Rikishi, Boogeyman. There was just so many that if you don't come to these, then we're not going to get more and more names like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I tried my best to get him to go through the door right behind him, which is where we were, and scare the bejeebus out of Ruby. I tried my best.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been perfect TV or perfect podcast.
That would have been fun. The live was good.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But it's like, the guests just keep being bigger. And you had the surprise last year with Randy Orton showing up. He wasn't able to sit down and sign or anything like that. He still showed up. He appeared for his dad and everything like that. This proves like what Herb is able to do for these fan fests. So if you're wondering, like, well, I mean, I wanted to go. I didn't know this, that, blah, blah, blah. Quit. Go to these. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger if we can get more people to come to these.
Oh yeah, awesome. Of course. But talk about size though. In as far as like accommodations of where we are at this weekend or this year, totally blew it out of the water.
Oh my god, the Hilton was amazing.
Oh my goodness, yes. I mean,
I love the fact that I'm not soaking wet in that shirt. because, for one, it wasn't hot as heck in that hotel compared to the Aviator. And these are nice shirts, too. These are really nice. This is my second shirt, so.
Yeah, the Hilton.
Ruby don't know I stole another one, so.
What?
Anyway.
No, you stole another one of those shirts?
That's a yes.
That's why you don't leave your food and you don't leave your belongings on the same table that you share with GQ. So,
well, you gotta admit the concessions there also were amazing.
I mean,
we didn't have concessions the last 2 years either.
No.
I mean, if you like chicken jerky, I mean that's cool. No, I mean, it's just
check our group chat also. By the way, just saying.
Dude, yeah, I know. I seen.
Okay,
I seen.
But no, for real. Let's talk about the Hilton real quick. Let's give a shout out to the Hilton for SICW FanFest 3 because they were, from my point of view, because I don't know from everybody else's, but they were very hospitable the whole weekend. We had a great weekend. The wife and I had in a beautiful hotel room that we got a great deal with the bundle pack through SICW.org when we booked for her to come down because she wanted to come down with me. So it was a wonderful, wonderful weekend for us. I can't thank the Hilton and Herb Simmons and SICW any more than I already have because that's how much it was. It was perfect.
And you even got involved in helping out with the Hall of Fame this year. I mean,
yeah. I was afraid because the light switch that I was working, it didn't want to shut down all the time, so I had to keep going back up and down to get it to want to respond. I want to get that fixed.
Like jiggling the handle, it'll loosen up somehow.
That's
terrible. That's funny.
The only thing I hope that they release online somewhere is the videos that you and I weren't able to see because of what we were doing.
No, CC, you had the terrible speed. I thought I did. I'm like, bummer. I'm not going to get to watch these cool Hall of Fame videos now.
You saw it backwards behind.
But I figured out that the screen because I was right behind the screen, right? So if I stood just off right, the light wasn't shining through around it, like the ambient lights, and I could see the screen behind it. So I got to watch it all. But no, I would love to see those videos. Wasn't it? Hopefully I'm correct on this, and if I'm not, somebody correct me. It's okay if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure they said Mr. Mac Davis is the one who helped set those up, correct?
Yes, he was. Yeah. He's the one that did all those.
That was very well done.
His voice for it too. So
yeah, it was very well done. I loved it. They were great videos. I would love to see those videos.
Yeah, I mean, the videos were really, really good and very well put together this year.
My wife told me when we got upstairs afterwards that the Butch Reed family actually had her in tears, and it was awesome to see that for Butch Reed and stuff, and his family celebrating him. She was moved by them.
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a chance to talk to his sister, after the ceremony had ended and transition to get ready for the show, and just a really stand up, classy lady. And
they seem cool. Yeah. But I was moved by that from my wife because me, you, GQ, Austin, we're hardcore wrestling fans, right? We eat this almost lunch, breakfast, dinner kind of thing. She's just your casual fan. She just likes to watch and go have fun at events and stuff. So for her to say stuff like that, that's awesome. That when she gets invested like that, it pumps me up because it's cool to have your spouse be so willing to divulge in your love, and it's cool.
And I think if I recall correctly, St. Anne Community Center is that the right location, Ruby, for you?
For what event?
When you wrestled, didn't you say you had wrestled Butch Reed?
No, that was actually out in Columbia.
Okay. I remember at the St. Anne Community Center there in town was where I actually saw Butch Reed compete with
Yeah.
Frank Reed's promotion at the time with Central States Wrestling Alliance, I believe.
Yeah, I think this was like in May or like late May or June of '98. I got a chance to work him, and like so it was myself, Butch Reed, and drill instructor. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh,
I wonder whatever happened to him. He
Wonder-
just disappeared.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I think he went AWOL.
He must have got
Um,
lost in Japan.
No, he would never go AWOL. Okay, no. He got lost somewhere in the middle of Missouri. So
AWOL. I mean, I'm pretty sure he went AWOL, bro.
no. You would never say that about somebody. You would never say that about a Marine.
Oh, true.
That's true.
I'm joking. You know
I
that.
know.
Come on.
Maybe just
because you don't want him to come back and beat your ass. We've already had enough problems with other people beating our asses. So.
He's a nice guy. Stop it.
So man, no, I'm still getting stuff together. It's been a long day for me because yeah. Which by the way, on that match, I did win by. It was a triple threat match, and somehow I won by count out. So they still had they had count out rules in there. I think probably because all three were outside at the same time. A referee and we were out there for quite a while, so they started doing the 10 count, and sure enough, the old instructor and Butchery were tangled up in battle, and I was freed up, and I waited till the 9 count to creep in and steal the victory. So,
but
there you go.
You know what? If we had to take a group trip, record a little video or something like that, we definitely need to head out there to the Butch Reed Park. Check that out.
I'm down with that. That would be sweet, actually. And that's not that far from all of us, really.
What? I'm in Hollywood. What the hell are you doing? Kayfabe. Let's remember kayfabe. Anyway.
Why did you bring it up? You brought it up. See, nobody would have known. Nobody would have known.
Wait,
just saying.
I don't know.
But it's still not that far from me and Ruby. So
I think just like Hollywood. Springfield, I think that there's a Hollywood in every state in the U.S.
Potentially.
So
maybe.
I'm in Hollywood, California. Anyway,
there you
go.
Think
it's Hollywood, Arkansas.
No.
Where the men
that up to see where is at.
Where the women dress like men and the men are confused.
You guys are terrible.
Anyway, Ruby, we're not trying to get canceled now. Let's not do this, okay?
We do that on Friday nights.
What's another? Yeah, I wanted to show this one here. I thought this was pretty cool. Good Attitude Era.
Oh yeah, that's stellar.
Now, one thing I actually had for years, I've had some of the trading cards of the Brood signed by Christian. I was able to get one with Gangrel now on it. Now I just need to get Edge. Not Cope, Edge.
Well, you're wrong, because Edge doesn't exist anymore. It's Cope.
You got to cope.
It's going to be Edge.
You got to cope with it because it's Adam Copeland.
If he's grabbing a marker, putting ink to it, it's better to say Edge on it. But no, he was great. I mean, he was wonderful to meet and talk with and everything like that. And him and I want to say, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Him and Rikishi have a history with Knox Pro Wrestling, I think it was.
Think so.
In Van Nuys, California. Knox Pro Wrestling, just making sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I see where that was him and Rikishi that ran that for so long. There's a lot of people that did come through there a lot, and it's like, so that was good seeing that kind of reunion with them there in the house and everything. And he was always great to talk with. And I'm trying to find out where his tailor gets his stuff from, because
that suit was fat.
I love that suit, and there was somebody else's suit that I liked. I'm trying to remember now.
It's got to be sharp looking. You think?
That was one that I wanted to get a chance to, but I didn't get a chance to go over and visit with.
Yeah. Hey, I see there's some more. We're seeing a few more viewers flow in here. For those who happen to be part of last night's or this past weekend's festivities, if you want to comment or anything of that nature, kind of tell us your experience about SICW FanFest 3. Also, share that show here at while you're looking. I mean, there's a share button right there on Facebook. There's always a share button on YouTube, and of course, well, I think we got a bot troller on Twitch. So I don't know how that's working out for us, but it's still a view, I guess. I don't know.
Go with it.
Yeah, we got bot creepers on Twitch, so that's awesome. Like it, I guess so.
Okay, he does have a singlet on underneath.
Tell us about this here, GQ.
Don't get me in no trouble now. Don't get me in no trouble.
Well, what I mean, just your experience with Missy Hyatt. I mean, actually, Missy was.
You would think that she would be put off as she's not. She was like extremely great. She wanted to make sure pictures came out fine, and I told her it half came out great. I mean, the left half it was okay, the right half not so much. So I don't think we're going to touch on what just Alan just said. Just so we know.
I didn't see anything. Continue.
Yeah. And she's had so many pictures. She had some that you couldn't really show from the Wrestling Vixens area, it looked like. But she was just so great and personable with people. She always wanted to make sure everything came out, great with the pictures and everything. And apparently I heard, now Z can confirm since I left early,
she is the money behind the great... God dang it, now I forgot his name.
Lucky P. Larson.
Lucky P. Larson. Yeah, I totally spaced on Lucky's name. Sorry, Lucky. Don't sue me, please. I don't have good lawyers.
He is a good lawyer. So
That's what I'm saying. I know where the money comes from now.
And you just know they've had that history for so long and everything. I had a feeling that she was the money behind Lucky P.
Really?
Because, for one, I knew he wasn't that good of a lawyer. But
Joey Vanetti, though, let's skip forward just a tad to that evening when we found out that she was the money behind Mr. P. They were trying to recruit Joey Vanetti one last time, and Joey Vanetti said, not doing it, not going there. And then that little troll Brandon Beretta had to sneak in and try to be business again and beat up our good friend Joey. So hopefully Vanetti gets his revenge on Beretta. I smell a feud unlike the likes that SICW's seen in a long time, potentially with these two young guys looking to topple what once was a beautiful friendship, now that has dissolved into this bitter rivalry.
But you know what, though? Let's think of it this way. There is a spark that ignited in Brandon Beretta to elevate his game. And he's not worried about pleasing the fans that much, but it's just, he's coming in like every time he goes out there to battle inside the ring, he's going in with a chip on his shoulder. And it's a competitive chip on his shoulder. And some people take that the wrong way, or they translate it the wrong way, and therefore he's got a scowl on his face, but it's a game scowl, and people are acting like, well, he's mad at me, or he's just the total jerk now. No, it's just the way he is.
No, he went strictly business.
He's strictly business. That's how it is. I mean, you're not going to go walk into a freaking bank, hoping that a friend of yours is there to help give you a loan, and when he shuts you down, it's like, sorry.
Did you see when he walked in the building? He walked in like he owned the place. He walked in like he knew he was coming in to clock in, get his paycheck, and get out of there. He knew what he was doing.
I'm telling you, and if you knew Brandon last year, in a year's time, the way that he walked in, the way he walks in, it's not a strut, but his pace and his style that he walks into a building now. It's totally different. There's a 180 there, and it's more confident. It's more, don't challenge me. I'll liable to just kick you where you stand type of walk.
He has earned that, though. 100%. He has earned that. He's realized he doesn't need to be kissing people's backsides or whatever, being nice to the fans and all that, with him coming out, being how he needs to be, that's how he's going to be able to get on top even more so.
I mean, the man's already won tag team gold in OVW.
And he's
The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it now. So I mean,
but like I said, I said it. I think 2 weeks prior to the FanFest, people do not count out Joey in this whole adventure. Top Guns were a top tag team for a reason. They're going to be top guys as single competitors. It's going to happen, these two, but they have to get past this. Brandon Beretta last year was so bubbly, so kind, so friendly, and then this year, it was a slap to the face, and then to see him again attack Joey Vanetti, not cool, man. He's already beat you. Move on. You've already moved on. Let it happen, but he's not done. He's not done. Just don't sleep on Joey. That's all I'm saying, Joey's a tough one. Trust me. There's a sleeping giant in Joey Vanetti, and I know it for a fact.
You were mentioning about, of course, we were talking about Missy Hyatt, and she's the lucky behind Lucky P. Larson. I happened to come across this photo, and I have to show it. And I don't know if he's still watching, but this is freaking hilarious. Look at this. Right.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
It's like, if you look at it, though, and I love Lucky P. He's one of the best managers in the area.
You
it's like
grimy people.
Like saying, screw this guy. Teddy Long's like, can we get this photo done with? And David Wills is like, who the hell is this guy?
No, it's still real to him, man. Come on.
But now we got proof that freaking Mac is a freaking photobomb prankster.
No, Mac's a goat, man. I love his vibe, his energy. That
I literally saw that like 2 minutes ago. I'm like, oh man, I gotta put this up.
This is. I said it over and over again. I am not here to impress anybody. I'm doing me, but I got to meet 3 people this weekend and sit down with one of them that I've been wanting to. We've said it on here prior to FanFest 3 that we wanted Mac and Teddy to come by so we could argue about our points of views and have a discussion of just fanism, just love for this industry that has gone from point A to point B and spanned this long time. Medusa was my holy grail last year at FanFest 3. Sitting next to Mac Davis was my holy grail this year. I'm not lying about that. That made my weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no, 100%. He knows his stuff, definitely. I mean, because all the other previous years, I was trying to conduct business and everything, too, going back and forth and stuff. This was the first time I was actually able to sit with him as well, too, and just talk with him for briefly. He's 100%. He's 100% knows his stuff.
Sorry, GQ, continue.
No, I'm done now.
I just looked at the photo again and it made me crack up because this is in the photo like how I felt all weekend. Like it was just everybody was gagging each other, everybody was making fun of things, everybody was just having fun, enjoying, sharing stories, talking about either Bruiser Brody did this or how Rikishi did this or Devon did this or like anyone that was there. We were just reminiscing about their careers, their legacy that they all left behind, meeting new ones, meeting people that I didn't even think or knew they were even professional wrestlers, and getting to go down that rabbit hole because I'm staying up late now doing homework and research. But it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Getting to hang out with Mr. Briscoe was a good one too.
Oh yeah,
that was fun. We all 3 got to kind of sit on that one. You didn't get to this time, did you, Ruby?
No, I left it to the gentleman there. I mean, but I want to show just the one of my cool photos here with you right here, man. You got a chance to greet him here as well.
Yeah, this is funny because like I remember sitting there the first time with him at FanFest 1 and having a legitimate mark out moment and trying to like hold my composure because I want to be professional, but at the same time, like it's Gerald freaking Briscoe, bro. Like he's one of, for me, once again, one of the Stooges and why I fell in love with him. But then with the greatness of you two getting to go back, and you guys pointed out matches and stuff that I went back and watched, like that's amazing. So to have him there shaking my hand, getting this great photo, I got one of Skylar and GQ too, with Mr. Gerald Briscoe. So it
was sent to him. I know that
it was an amazing time. Like I cannot be more thankful to the whole Herb Simmons family, everyone there. Like I'm so thankful for the time I got to spend with all those people, for getting to spend time with Big Texan and picking his brain and talking to him about just the business and getting to learn more from him. I told Big Texan right to his face, you haven't done a damn thing for me in this business, but I want you to know I see you already as a mentor. And that is not a lie. I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm not saying it just to throw it out there. 100% a fact.
Yeah, I do see the photo here, but I'm kind of like having to turn. I don't know if there's any way if I could.
Yeah,
It's gonna make
I do stuff for Instagram and stuff, and they like the weird photos. Don't get me.
That is weird. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, man.
I mean, they're kind of strange like that, but
Ruby's stepdad did visit the table. We'll get to that.
Yeah, we will get to that. Yeah.
Yes, sir, we do. Whether or not Ruby wants to show it is another thing.
I think he'll give you probably that. Oh, that's a good photo. That's a good photo.
See, in Dirty Hill Austin Cage here, along with us, and this is actually Christopher Howe.
Yeah, Christopher Howe. Chris Howe.
Part of the We Talk Wrestling crew, so it's like half Falls Count everywhere, half We Talk Wrestling. You know, it's like,
yeah, he's a good one. That guy knows his knowledge in professional wrestling too. Like, he's an encyclopedia of nerdism just about wrestling and the things that he's seen growing up and until now. So it was cool to have all of us together. We met at a Glory Pro show in line. I took a photo. Well, Chris did and posted it, and then I shared it, and it's just all three of us being together. And I said, this is what wrestling means to me right here. Those two guys, I didn't know from anyone, period. I went to a wrestling show with my buddy from my hometown, met a group of guys that became some of my best friends in professional wrestling nerdism, and we have built this whole relationship based around an industry that people want to poop on sometimes, but it's still one of the greatest industries of all time because it is the leading entertainment, in my opinion. So that's what wrestling means to me, is the fact that I've gotten to meet all these people, from past to future to fans, and built these bonds over one thing that we all love. And that's the best part about what FanFest brings to the area when SICW brings FanFest to.
Oh, 100%. It's like one of the things we talked with Mac Davis on was the fact that how this business has always been a roller coaster. And because of everything going on now with all the competition and this and that, we're at another major upswing again with the business.
Right.
With the popularity. We've all seen the roller coasters.
Mm-hmm.
And like the 90s, then mid-2000s. I mean, there's so much on it. I mean, and it can stay high. You just have to.
You want to get high?
I don't know how to explain it. You know, just keep watching. You know that there's more than just WWE. Even on even not even mainstream. You know, you got the independents, and without the independents like SICW, ACW, all of them like that, without the independent or even RCW, even all the independents, without them, these people wouldn't have a place to train or whatever to go get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
How many people have we seen that start locally that made it to the big time?
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite things that Ruby said to me, is the fact that he's got to sit in the locker room and watch people, unfortunately, pass him by, but the people that have did that. Some of them have been great, and some of them have gone on to do great things and whatnot. But he's gotten to touch some of those guys in the ring as they move through, and that to me is super cool. Is just being a part of the experience and the ability to help others and yourself get better at all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And GQ, we were actually, was it last week we were talking about this, Z, or probably a couple weeks ago, on how we were talking about how the prices for just going to a WWE event have just escalated more. But
Yeah.
Z also threw in the argument that this gives more opportunity for those who want to go to a live wrestling show, but they want to go to something in their budget. This gives more opportunity for the smaller independents to
And I'm even
tackle
amazed at those
theirs.
prices now. I'm even amazed at that.
Oh,
And
like I said,
let's look at it like this. You got the cheapest tickets being like $100. So let's say you got a family of 4 wants to go to it. There's 400. And then you're buying the $30 t-shirts. Let's say all 4. So there's another 120. Not counting concessions or food that any venue like that have that WWE, AEW is at, those concessions are not cheap.
200.
I know.
200. That's
Yeah.
just for a beer.
No, exactly. And you
Brother.
can go to like an independent wrestling
It's
show,
really good beer, actually.
like SICW, ACW, RCW, MMWA, any of them.
IEW.
Yeah, I'm not trying. I'm trying to throw everybody.
You're
out there.
good. There's too many letters. Don't worry. I'm just throwing them out more out there. There's so many.
And you can go to those with that family of 4. Maybe spend $50 if you're buying merch and everything like that. Less than that if you're just going to check out the show.
Well, that was one thing I pointed out. And that's what people I don't think are seeing the whole picture. Like, WWE had to raise their ticket prices, and here's why: they got rid of house shows in the United States. They're not doing house shows. They've limited their house show cuts. They're wanting to limit it more. Actually, that's opening the.
That's a TKO move, though.
Yeah, that's a TKO. That doesn't matter. That
That's
doesn't
not
matter.
The only thing. It's not the only thing.
What?
There is no longer pay-per-views. So they're recouping everything they can. What they used to get on those pay-per-view budgets for people buying the pay-per-views and everything. Now you go on
100%.
Netflix or the Peacock. Go ahead, say it how you usually do.
Peacock.
Thank you. On those, and you're just paying your monthly subscription rate instead of like what the $30 it used to be a month or whatever, depending on the pay-per-view.
Right.
Mania was like 50 or so. And so they're not getting their budget, so they have to recoup stuff to try to get to pay the people and everything. I mean,
By the way, all pay-per-views back in the day were $50. WrestleMania was $65 usually.
I still
Yeah.
thought it was.
I promise you that's how it was, because I bought a lot of pay-per-views. I used a lot of lawn mowing money so that my dad and my mom would let me order pay-per-views.
How about somebody on his 17th birthday getting WrestleMania 8, and then remember the GQ? Remember the old filters that you had to put on the back of between the
Yeah, you had to go to Comcast and go pick it up, or
yeah,
Spectrum.
I had to go get the, he gave me the wrong filter.
Oh!
I missed it.
But hey, Ruby got the wrong filter. He didn't get WrestleMania 8, but he did get to see Debbie Does Dallas. So it worked out fine for him.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could have been me. So we rented one once and bought the filter, right? I took the filter apart, figured out what was in it, put the filter back together, used it for the event,
Okay,
took
so
it
we're
back,
not going to talk
and
about
made
felonies.
my own so I could watch wrestling pay-per-views.
We're not going to talk about felonies on the show right now because
Felonies? How is it a felony when I didn't get caught? What are you talking about? I was stupid.
Anyway, let's move on because there's other people that probably got it for free though too. That's on the show, but I'm not going to say who.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on.
Z said, "Scramble? What scramble?"
Straight up, dude. My mom and dad had an old cable box that I took apart, rewired it, figured it all out, learned it. Here's the kicker, though. Here's the kicker. There is a kicker. I had 2 choices. I could either watch it with no audio, or I could listen to it. Now you know why I'm a commentator.
Touche. Oh man, let's go to this one now. I'm sure. Now I meant to grab my belt and have this guy sign it, but I was just in the middle of just trying to break everything down. But Nikita Koloff, of course, was here. It, I mean, I was able to, try to talk with him, but I just the wait was kind of too long. So, and
That's why I kept leaving, because it took me a little bit. I saw the lines, like, let me go back a little bit later. And he was great to talk with. So interesting note, now I'm going to mention on the show right now, he was telling me Arn Anderson gave him a nickname back in the day, and he still calls him every time he sees him. That nickname is GQ. Because he asked what my name was, and I said GQ. And we talked about why.
I did not give you that name.
No. Arn, not me. No, Arn Anderson gave Nikita Koloff that name.
I know.
Dick. Anyway, but we talked about that and everything. He was great, and it was like, I asked him, hey, if you can, we're doing podcast live, we're trying to get more people to show up and everything. He handed me this stuff. Well, I also do a podcast too. It's like, no matter what, we will mention it, and we did during the show.
Mm-hmm.
He does his own podcast. Did you save the stuff for it, Ruby?
What now?
Did you save stuff for the Nikita podcast?
Oh no, I did not. I'm sorry. I actually put that in. I put that in. Actually, accidentally put that in with the tote I put into the garage.
Oh, okay. So
I was in a hurry
I had to look it up real quick
because I had to get back to the hotel, but I wanted to unload my gear and the
name of the podcast, which can be found on a lot of the different podcast hosting sites and everything, including Truth Network, is called Man Up with Nikita Koloff.
Mm.
Yes, and him and Luger do like an event or whatever, a camp, I guess, for people for worship and everything like that. Now, side note here, he was with Nikita this morning, was with two former guests of our show.
Yes,
this morning.
He was.
He went down and he spoke at the church that the Lumberjacks go at.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he was there and everything like that. So that was great for that to happen and everything. I saw that as like, well, I beat you to it, but I mean, you probably had the better experience right there,
Yeah. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I did see that this morning. So yeah, with the Lumberjacks getting a photo opportunity here with Nikita Koloff. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, man, he's doing some good work. So the Man Up podcast is what he's got. It's on with Apple Music or Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I believe. So just
shut up, Larry. Go away. Go away.
Wait a minute here. Come on, bro. Come on. This is not the bald guy convention. we got a hairy ginger right here.
I got hair. Yeah.
Hold on, I kind of want to look at the pictures I sent to see how many more would be bald, just to make sure. I think we're good on the rest of them that I sent. So
I think so too. Now, I want to let's bring up this one here for you. I've already got my my experience with this belt over here that I got signed. So with Tito Santana here getting a chance to...
all the other times I missed the opportunity to get him and all that, when I knew he was coming in, I had to go meet him and everything. Definitely.
Yeah.
The some of the questions that were asked his way the night before at the Bill Apner's Q&A were amazing, because his just love of pouring out, like talking about it, and then talking about how when he finally like left the business, he chose to leave for his family, went and did school, became a teacher. Right, Ruby?
Yeah,
I believe so.
I think that's what he said. But like all that stories was cool. I'm kind of kicking myself in the tail, because I thought Drew, I itched my eye, and I thought Drew was going to make me do a question, because he said that I opened it. I had to like quickly think of a question. Well, then it never got back around, because I didn't put my hand up, because I was a chicken shit. I'll say it right here to ask the question. But I kind of do wish I would have asked, since he's one of the greatest IC champion and a workhorse, wrestler with that that title represents. Who is somebody that he thinks from the newer generation has upheld that? Would have been really cool to know. It was cool to see him. I really enjoyed the Q&A session with him. I really did.
I mean, if we want to talk about somebody who really epitomized the Intercontinental Championship recently, of course, that would be Gunther.
Well, 100%. We know that, but like, I would like to hear from like the legends about some of these. I know some of them don't watch the product anymore, all that stuff, and respect. No issues with that, because the product's not for everybody now. But well, it's for everybody. That's the real problem. But no, it would have been cool to hear from him, because the things he was saying kind of like opened my eyes a lot to him. You know, a lot more. Even though I already knew who he was, because the IC title is one of my favorite titles, and will one day be on my wall. But
and we talk about the original design, the one Ruby has.
So the original design.
I was gonna say there is somebody that brought the rebuilt version of the green strapped Intercontinental Championship that Tito and Great.
Yeah, I'm talking about the one
they went over the battles with. Yeah, that'd be sick. But no, I am more of a fan of the one that Ruby has. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, but 100%. I agree with that one too.
But the '90s one does have a small, like, weird place in my heart. So, because Rikishi, all those guys, like Chris Jericho held that one, and Chris Jericho is one of my favorites. Eddie held that one. That's one of my favorites. You know, so like the guys that I grew up watching, that's the version they held. So I have a different aspect on it. But I also understand why belt collectors don't like that one. So. Because there's a lot of belt collectors out there that do not like the '90s Attitude Era.
I
wasn't.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
If you're talking about the oval one, yeah, no.
Yeah. It has a special place in my heart. Like I said, I'm not saying it. I do prefer the old one, the one that Macho and all those guys passed around. So 100%. Cody brought it back for us. The Miz held it and made it the greatest title of that section of wrestling, that small section. So I do have a love for that title for those reasons. But I don't know. The oval one still has a place, man. But like I said, I've always been the workhorse guy, like the mid-card wrestler, quote unquote. Because I don't see it that way, but I see a champion as a champion, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that title is concerned, I mean, like you said, it was okay. Yes, I don't know.
I still agree with you, Ruby. I'm not saying you're wrong by any means.
It took a lot of convincing for the current Intercontinental Championship.
I like the new one. I do like the new one. I'm not gonna lie.
It's only because Jey Uso had color put in the freaking title. That's all it is. All they just had to add a little bit of color, and
now it pops. It pops and looks awesome. So it's a good title now.
You know who we could think like we need next year for FanFest 4?
Who?
Kid Shamrock.
No.
Oh, that would be bro. No, whatever you said's wrong. Sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
Rick D'Amato Martel.
Ooh, that would be cool too.
Yeah.
That would be cool too. Yeah, agreed. 100%.
Have them wear white satin Strike Force jackets. Let's go.
100%. That'd be sick. That would be. But Ken Shamrock would be dope as hell too, bro. Just saying.
I had Ryan Shamrock, but that's just me, But.
Dude, if there was like a Strike Force ringing into it, I would so mark out.
Dude, you're 100%, dude. Rick Martel would be sick.
Because we had like some tag teams there that worked well, which we'll mention later on. But it was good to have a tag team photo with them instead of like doing separate ones and everything like that. So definitely doing something to where you can have like Strike Force together, or have somebody spray Z with arrogance, So
I'm down with it. Let's do it.
It's just basically rubbing alcohol, and it's
whatever.
Yeah, squirt into my eyes, please. Oh,
don't ever say that again. Don't ever.
moving on. Let's hold on. No, there we go.
Let's talk about this. Okay, so
Yes.
all right. So this picture now I was kind of like, man, should I post this or not? I mean, you even have to look at it like
it's a good. Don't. Why do you gotta look at it like that? Just let it flow, man. Relax.
it's going down.
Now, this is the third year. Now we got to figure out how we're going to do it. Year 4, when Briscoe comes in, who gets to sit with him on that one? If we have enough room, all 4 of us should.
So okay, at that point, we just give the show to him, right? Him and JBL can take over.
You know what I was thinking on that? It would be perfect, especially if his partner for his podcast shows up. Just let them chase us off and then take over our show for a while.
Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Yes.
I'm in with that.
Yeah, I'm in with that too.
Because these guys,
totally.
Herb's, like, everybody says it. Gerald even talked about it on the show about how when Skylar, Austin, my bad, brought up.
Kayfabe.
You know what? I met him the other way, so stop. When he brought up the JBL and Briscoe show, we all think it needs to go on the road. We all think it needs to become like a real thing. And I think it needs to be at FanFest 4, personally. That's me, personally. You know, Herb's going to be like, Zach, stop doing that, Zmiz. Don't be telling people we're going to have a FanFest 4 because you don't know. But
there's going to be a FanFest 4.
There's going to be a FanFest 4. But they need to take that show on the road because it's great. Their podcast is amazing. The energy that JBL still brings, the liveliness that Briscoe still has for the business. Great minds. Why are not you guys, if these legends are doing these podcasts and you're not watching them and you want to be a part of this, you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm saying. You're doing it wrong.
We could throw a bug in their ear if they would be down for it. Is like they can do an hour before we go broadcast, and they could use our equipment.
Ooh.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, no. I still would go back to the other one then. If we're going to do that, we're going to do it right. We'll talk that off screen.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about keeping us out and take over our show? I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Like, that's the way it needs to happen if that would happen, dude.
But then you know who needs to kick them out and take over the show? Mac Davis and Teddy Long.
I'm so for that too.
Dude, that'd be amazing.
Oh,
great
my
guys.
gosh. Just
Great
like
guys.
one podcast trying to over us.
How
Put themselves over.
are you gonna
Like,
GQ? Since you're the Hollywood guy, are you gonna pay them then for us to get our podcast back? Is that how we get our show back?
We're gonna get the money for Missy High. Lucky P would pay for that. So I'm just going to throw it out there right now. Make his ass pay for it.
Okay, that's fair. I'm down with that.
I'm so.
No. We're just going to skip that one.
That's next year's bump. Right? Yeah, this is next year's bump.
Okay, hold on. He gets to take all the Four Corners chops from Texan then.
Well, first off, I mean, and we'll have to find a way to get that clipped or whatever. But you had Austin Cage bit by Attila Kong yesterday.
We did.
This is like 30
year 1, year 2, year 3, and then let's go up 2 more for year 4.
Yeah, the only person that needs bit now is you.
Nah, now if he bites me and takes me off of my stage, we're gonna settle that later. I'm just saying. I don't care. You bite me on my show.
How about this? If that happens, we're doing some armchair booking now.
That's what being a fan is.
Ruby,
we did it all week.
If that does happen and you have to challenge him to a match, you need to have me and Z in your corner.
Okay, so he's already gotten to you, and I don't know. So did he get to use Z?
Yeah, he got to me last year. Yep, I got Attila.
So you guys want to be freaking bite? You guys want to be bait in the?
No. See, I know how to hide behind the other turban wearing guy. So
he don't make him that big.
I will be fine. I think.
I'm just saying, if I get bit, it's on like Donkey Kong. All right,
Okay.
it's not.
It could be a chair shot and you take a dolphin. Anyway, let's move on.
Oh
Let's move
man,
on.
are we going there? Are we going there?
No, we're going back to this
Oh,
great
God.
conversation where you guys because you said that if Mr. Briscoe got on the show this year, you were taking that one and you got your moment. So tell us, GQ, how did it feel to sit with one of your favorite living legends?
I thought it was great because one of the first things I asked, and he did not disappoint with telling us just how strong the Oklahoma DNA is. And I'm not talking about just the Oklahoma versus Texas stuff, but just because I asked him about how Wes is doing. And he talks about how he wrestled a match, broke his jaw, wrestled another match later on that night, broke the jaw, came back, did this and that and everything. They went to the dentist, and the dentist couldn't do diddly squat because his jaw was broken.
And it was like a week later.
Yes. To the point that they had to like,
Oh,
shut up, Scott. That's awesome. Anyway,
give it.
but no, it's like that just shows he was trained by his dad and others, but trained the old school way. You complete it. You don't cry like a baby about stuff. You get it done, and most of the time you work through it, you don't even notice it at first. And it just proves like how the old school mentality can still work today and makes everybody better,
Yeah.
And then we heard so much about how Oklahoma is better than Texas. I had to throw the G.T. Ewing photos over because, like, I don't want them to know I'm from Texas. I'm going to hide this now. And
I can't put that on there, man. What do you do? Type it out differently. Put some dart.
Yeah.
big of a cat in quotes. How about that? Try that one.
How about a dash in the middle of that word, sir?
Or at least the two dashes with the S's are. So
Dang it, Skylar.
anyway, that was great, and I know that's why I got up and let Skylar and then Z do more with him and everything. It's like I had my moment there.
Yeah,
It's
it
good to
was.
share it with it, and that's the thing. Is like we're not fighting for each other to get the airtime and all that. We share it.
Yeah, it was. I got to spend more
Especially
time with
when
my
I
wife.
saw Attila come around in the corner. It's like I'm getting my ass.
Okay, thank you.
That's totally not the direction he was going, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they can see it in the thing. I just don't want to put it on screen because, like,
Yeah.
trying to be
I'm just saying
somewhat
it to the
family.
people watching it and don't see the comment because not everybody will see it because they're watching on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's their problem. Go watch it on Facebook then.
The fact that he also came in to talk about Teddy when Teddy was honored for the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, the Hall of Fame speech.
And I see him come in with a smirk and the microphone. I'm like, oh hell, here we go. And he's talking about Teddy with the whole, how he was there, her, especially with promoting the first match with Abraham Lincoln and everything. It's like, oh hell.
Back in 1930.
The wrestling court fiasco.
I heard that story.
And this is what we're putting.
told that story on Undertaker's podcast, and I lost it. He got in trouble with the wrestlers and everything for selling a blue pill to the boys.
Hymns.
And he ended up having to buy booze for a month. Or at least it took a month's salary for it.
For like JBL, who was it?
At least the APA alone, that's going to make you broke. So
poor Teddy. Poor.
You know what really would have bothered me about that is if whoever bought that pill took it about an hour before they went out and did a match. So it's
Teddy on the podcast that he was talking about that. Me and Mark's podcast, right? Mark Calloway's podcast.
Yeah.
He said that Viscera would come and buy him just for fun and go to bed. I was like, really? What? It's crazy. The great stories you hear from these legends ceases to amaze me.
I don't think.
Which, by the way, if you forget who his lawyer was for Wrestlers Court, it was Mae Young. So.
Oh my. Oh wow, that's funny.
And you know what though? I was nervous as hell because it's like I knew I looked up a lot of stuff just to make sure. I never watched previous years, so I never know what was asked. And I'm blanking out. It's like I might as well just ask about his son.
Dude, I'm 3 years in a row now of getting to sit down with this man and have conversations. So I'm this cheese is not fake.
But if that's ever able to happen, like next year, have JBL come back and they take over our podcast for a while.
I mean, you booked a match that the guy that won became the president, man. Come on. We love you.
That is funny. Let's we've already seen one photo, Mbama photo, but like say you were talking was he
yes
GQ and Zmiz with the one and only Mad Mac Davis talking about the business and
you have no clue how proud I am of this moment. Like that was the gym for me. A guy that like I've been watching After Hour with Teddy and him and going back and watching all this stuff. I share the crap out of him because I like watching this guy. I like watching him and Teddy. I like watching him and Vince Russo because I like the different aspects, the different thought patterns, the different ideologies in wrestling, how people believe, you know. And Mac and I even talked about it on the show yesterday. We talked about how my vision's different than his vision, but his vision's not wrong and my vision's not wrong, and how we, you know, the Mount Rushmores, and at the same time, like eras are becoming Mount Rushmores in a sense. Like you can't just say one wrestler from this area was the best because all of them made it cook. You know what I'm saying? So that's the cool part about wrestling and getting to nerd out with some of the people that like. I look up to Herb Simmons. I look up to Big Texan, Mac Davis, Teddy Long. But getting to nerd out with these guys and being my geeky self, my ultimate you guys saw Ultimate Nerd Zach all weekend. And I'm using my real name because that's who I like. And it was amazing. I loved every moment of it. Like getting to be me, Zach Burton, and getting to be Zmiz all in one weekend was... Oh, it was so empowering. It was so invigorating. And I can't wait. I know Herb's going to kick us, but we're going to keep saying it. FanFest 4. I can't wait.
Hold on. No, we got to do it right. FanFest 4. It would be even better if we had the fourth person, but he couldn't figure out his computer. So.
No,
it's like, you know, you have that, and I think if we can get them to talk on the show for a little bit, I think just a good debate with Mac alone would be great, like talking about heels and everything like that nowadays. I mean,
I would love to pick their brains more. Like I said, getting to sit there with him for just them few minutes and after hours Thursday nights. I always do my best to chime in because I want to pick Teddy's brain and like listen to and throw questions out there. I'm getting free moments to learn things from legends that did it before me. I'm taking everything. Anything that gets thrown my way, any beat of information I'm going to use it. I'm going to figure out how to do it properly and keep doing it because these guys paved the way, and I want to pay homage to the people that paved the way. Plain and simple.
By the way, Herb, I think that statement is false. I think your ratings can do just fine if there's wrestling historians listening to that show, then I think your ratings are going to be just fine. So
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, me too. I want to hear it.
This is probably where he's going to announce FanFest 4. I'm just going to say right now.
You make sure that I get a share or I see it, and I will be there in a heartbeat. I will sit there and watch that whole thing. I'll listen to the whole thing. I'll go back and watch it if I don't get the
Somebody
share.
dropped me a message for it though too. In between all my business work and everything like that,
I'll get you.
try to check
I'll
it out
get
too.
you.
But no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to see what Road Trip After Hours is going to bring us, especially after Teddy Long receiving that Lifetime Achievement Award this weekend, and of course with Mac having an excellent time interacting with all the stars and legends that showed up at FanFest. So that that ought to be very very interesting uh, with that. So looking forward to seeing that whenever that happens. So uh, so
But here's my question though with Mac and Teddy. Can their show go 3 hours like ours do with her?
Oh yeah, we could do it. Oh, with them? No, they're probably going to be limited. We're wild. We're out here gunning it.
That tells me JBL is going to be holding the strings or controlling the strings on that one. So I think he's going to let it. He'll let it go how long he needs to let it go. So I don't know. It's just my feeling on that. But who knows? Prove me wrong. So oh yeah, let's talk about that. About that. So one of the parts of the show after we got done with our broadcast, okay. I collected like whoever was the legends or stars are going to be there. I was playing their themes, right? So I just set up a certain playlist and I just let it play as we're breaking down stuff after we got done with the show, right? So at some point, Jerry Lawler's music starts playing, and like not even like 10 seconds after it starts, here comes Jerry walking out of the ballroom. And he's walking down the hall. He's going to his car to leave for the day. And Jerry's looking all around like, where the hell is that coming from? And I'm like, it's my speaker, Jerry. We were talking about Jerry Briscoe. Jerry can't stay awake that long.
You know, he'll argue Oklahoma DNA will last longer than the Texan one, so.
Yeah,
that's because he goes to bed at a reasonable time.
And then we got some onlookers that are kind of giggle, they were kind of smiling about it too. Had Jerry's music playing.
Yeah, it was pretty humorous to see him come around the corner.
And then somebody goes, "Oh, that was highly racist." Beforehand, I'm like, "Shut up! Just let him enjoy the moment." Should we?
GQ.
No, I didn't say no. That wasn't me that said it.
That wasn't you. I thought it was.
I know.
No, it wasn't him.
Yeah, it wasn't me.
I was like, "Shut up! Will you just let him enjoy the moment, please?" You're ruining it. Shut it.
Quit being a goof.
No, I thought that was probably one of the most funny coincidences of the weekend for me. Anyway, it was like, he caught the king coming down the aisle and his music's playing, perfect. So, oh shoot, man! No, but that was pretty cool. Oh yeah. Well, I gotta get that. So I still gotta
You
get
did?
that.
Did I get it to you?
Yeah, you did.
I
I
sent it
just
too,
haven't
so.
gotten it yet. I have not gotten it yet. Here's some of the. Should we talk about it now?
Should we talk about now? What?
Yep.
Well, first,
100%
let's leading up to it here. Here's your group with the Express themselves, with Ricky and Robert. So,
Look at that little kid. The little kid in GQ.
Because you knew I have a shit-eating grin
Yeah.
that I was talking with them about. I was like, this is going to be perfect. And what did I do? Let's see. What did I do, Ruby?
I can't believe you had the balls to continue to do this to this poor man. You're either the worst friend or the greatest fan at the same time, and I don't know which one is which.
Right. So, if you all know, if you all, for those who've been watching this show for a long time, for a while, GQ is known to throw up a certain picture with me in a red shirt with my previous gimmick. Yes, my first gimmick ever. So
He was still Rick Ruby. Let's keep that there. He
it
was
was
still
still
Rick
Rick
Ruby.
Ruby. Yes.
Alan, you're going into a wall for that one.
But we got Ricky Morton to come on and make Ruby put on the rock and roll Rick Ruby shirt again.
Yeah. So this is.
And we talked about how Ricky still had his hair and Ruby lost it all with the blonde. So.
Yeah, well, and we got to talking about that too. It's just my hair couldn't really handle the bleach. It literally just like fried it, and I can only wash my hair with like triple strength Pantene conditioner, and that's the only way I could get a comb through it. Or, I mean, yeah. So I don't know. If just that 1 year of having my hair like that was starting, or maybe just the stress of everything. It did not. You lying sack.
Okay, Z. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Z.
Not.
Oh, it did.
What a jerk.
At least this one wasn't the original one, though. So
the dirty little heel.
Yeah, it took him 10 minutes.
So where's the next picture at, Ruby? Let's see the next one.
Oh, I got to get that one loaded. I'm sorry.
You ain't getting that photo.
I'll come back to it. I'll come back to it. Let me
Okay.
see. I will come back to it.
I know I had sent it. I thought with the early ones.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to see which ones did I not show yet. Which ones did I not show? Well, let's see.
It was actually the first one that I sent. Actually, there.
Oh yeah, see, I'm doing everything out of here. Well,
yeah.
Hey, let's talk about you with Devon here real quick. We'll come back to that. Yeah. So yeah, you got your you got your figure signed.
I did. That I bought from God dang it, Chris. What's his last name? One of the vendors that's there every year, just like us, Mr. Herb. By the way, don't put him next to us again, please.
He kept leaning over out of the camera shot to look at the.
You do not understand how many times I went back to his table and was like, "Do I push the wife to let me buy another one or not?"
Yes.
Like, so yes, it was. I love wrestling figs. It's great having my collection. It's something I passionately love. So I did pick up Devon actually at the event because I did not have one and wanted one. I was going to end up buying a picture to get my autograph, but I did get to hang out with Devon, talk with him for a little bit, tell him how much I enjoyed his ECW run and them guys. And funny story is with this too. Now I got to retell him the story too while we were there, and he giggled because he's like, "I remember, I heard it last night." we were in the we were getting ready to leave, and we were going to take Ruby home for the evening, and then the wife and I were going to go out to dinner. Which shout out again to Trainwreck Saloon for having some banging food up there in the St. Louis area at what is it? Westport, right?
Yeah, Westport Plaza. Yeah.
Ah, dude, great food. But so Devon was sitting there eating, minding his business, and Zmiz in his loud mouth. The wife was being mouthy, and her and I like to poke fun at each other because that's how our relation is. We rib each other. When you have your best friend with you all the time, it's kind of fun. But she was being mouthy. I'm like, don't get too mouthy. I'll have that man right over there put you through a table. And I'm like, well, correction, he's not actually the one that put the woman through the table, but still, he can help. And he giggled about it after, and while we talked, it was fun to meet Devon. One of the best. I love that tag team. And you're wrong. And by the way, I don't remember how it when you played Reverend Devon's music. I forgot how much that actually slapped. Like that was an awesome intro.
I'm telling you, yeah, it was good. Yeah. So, and I was telling him, I was like, man, what if was that like? What if that was a Reverend Devon figure? I don't even know if there is one.
I don't know if he has one actually. I'm gonna have to look into that because if I get dude, can I get a Reverend and a Deacon, please? I would buy that fig set.
Oh, was it Deacon Batista?
Deacon Batista. Yeah, I would totally buy that fig set because I know, and this is the funny part. Let's go back to the rock and roll thing with you and Ricky Morton and them and Robert Gitson, how we make fun of you for it and how GQ's ribbed you this whole time with it. You may not like that gimmick, but it's a part of you. It's who made you into the Lime Time Express, running dudes over, knocking guys out, keeping that vibe up all the time. So it's this entity of you. And that's how I feel about with some of these wrestlers like Devon and Cody. I have tons of Cody's figs. I was telling Big Texan and I were out back talking when we were smoking. And
what were you smoking?
I was smoking. He was smoking nicotine. I was smoking what I smoke, Don't try to get me in trouble, brother. Don't try to get me in trouble.
You were smoking a chicken.
Be high like every day.
Dude, back pains. Leave me alone. You have your ways, I have my ways. But still, we were talking about figs and stuff, and Cowboy came out. Cowboy Bob Orton, that is, came out, and I was like, I was mid argument with not really argument, discussion with Texan about how I got to pick up one. Oh no, his Texan's wife actually was there with us too, and that's how it got started because she asked me if I sit there and watch fig videos, and I said yes, 100%. But I said I got to pick up a Randy Orton in the sling figure last year, right, Ruby? Or where was that? Because I was with you when I got that.
Yeah, it hadn't been. Well, it wasn't in Arkansas, was it?
I got Randy Orton when he was doing the Randy updates when he injured his shoulders. I got that fig, and that is 100% was a holy grail fig for me, and I got it. But Texan and I were sharing our love for action figures because he's a fig collector too.
He collects a lot of the LJNs. That much I know.
Yeah. And I started that bug. We saw
absolutely not her. Not in this type of environment. No. Absolutely not.
No, and I'm a kid that made a fan page to talk crap about wrestling and share my nerdism with my 10 friends, and now I get to talk wrestling with these two great gentlemen and one of my friends.
Here's the thing, though, too. If you think about it, Z, and you'll agree with me, it wasn't except for the last maybe 15 years that there's been wrestling conventions. Used to just be, you get a signing here and there somewhere, but it was never conventions where you had everybody in one spot. There was not until maybe 15 years ago, maybe 20 at the most.
And St. Louis is building it right there from the ground up.
Especially when we come back for
4. But that's what I'm talking about. Is like having that geekism, and I'm gonna throw all those words out. Like I know it might hurt some people's feelings, but like having all that in one place, that the love, the passion, the nerdism, the just geeking out over this product that has been so innovated in history, in what pop culture takes on in all aspects. So like to be in that moment and be with people of like-minded individuality with it, I was at home. I was at home where I was supposed to be. Everything clicked. Everything felt right. Yeah, I'm living the damn dream. Everything's sugar on top from here, baby.
Yeah. And, at least I'm with Skylar on that in the last comment from her. I never thought that we would even have a chance to do something like this of a fan fest. And it just seemed, it was just the right timing for us, too. As far as the way that we had our podcast going, we were literally, we just completed 100 episodes right before the first one. And, and we're like, we want to market more. We want to show our support for this. And, so, like I said, all of this is just a great time. And trust me, if we had, honestly, guys, and I'm going to be flat out honest here with you. We could probably be doing something more like this if I found a way to get sponsorships or anything else of that nature that like what we do. And people say, well, we like what you do. And that's awesome. Great. But we would love to advertise for sponsors too that actually like our product here too. We got no problems doing spots during our show or even cutting a commercial to give us a few about 30 seconds off camera just to take a drink of something or do whatever off camera, and then we come right back on.
Bring up
Uh,
Alan's last message.
No.
I'm going to point this out right here. I've said this from year one for the FanFest. Everybody needs to come there, set up their tables there, talk with Herb, get it all set up and everything like that, promote their product. Because there's so many that are coming in for it, and Alan has definitely seen that because he wants to get a table now.
Yeah.
As I said, it's like, he's like, he wants to get it, and it's like, because we were always, and we always will be the first ones to sign up, no matter what.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, and now we're getting spam messages. That's always cool.
Yeah,
I know that's great. Yeah,
what
we don't
did
mention
you like
those,
about
but,
this
we
year's
just,
FanFest?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go back to the venue, Mr. Simmons. Back to the venue.
What you did not like about this year?
Oh, what I didn't. Oh no! Oh, sorry. I was gonna promote. I read it wrong. Can I do? What did I not like?
That's why I wanted to stop you first.
Thank you, because I was gonna actually boast about the venue.
Herb, I have a question, and this is going to be what some people that I've talked to try to get to come out to the FanFest and everything like that. The one thing that held them back, and I'm not saying I hated it. I understood it, but correct me on this. Last year, what was the price to get into the FanFest? Because that was what a lot of people were saying they did not like about this year. But I don't remember, because again, I was with the show per se, so I don't remember what like previous years were for the ticket for the FanFest. Well, I know that's something that some people have hated. Me, I can't think of a darn thing.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what some people. But when you compare to any, if you're going to go back a year ago and you see how the major brand has increased their prices, this is actually something that is actually more affordable to get in the door, and you're having a more personal meet and greet, and even you're going to get like a wrestling show, whatever else.
I mean, the price for the ticket alone was worth having air at this venue compared to the other one. I mean, I'm saying it like that. I mean,
well, like I was going to say, the price, it is what it is. That's life, unfortunately. Yeah. The thing about it that I liked about it, I'm just going to go right into promoting what I liked, because I just don't understand why focusing on the negative. But the venue itself of it made me feel like we were at, old school wrestling. I felt that vibe in the building. And I don't know if I felt it in the Aviator like I did in that one.
This one, to me, also, and this would go to something Zach would understand and everything, though, too. This more felt like an actual convention environment, though, as well.
100%.
I mean, and there's not much of a difference other than the space that we've had with the other ones, but I think that this felt more like a convention and everything, for one. I understand why Herb's asking, because he wants to improve something for next year.
Oh, I know. I know.
I can't think of anything offhand, and
I will get back to you with that. But for me, I would do it again. I would buy a ticket for my wife or whatnot. I mean, first year my son went with me. Second year was just me. This year my wife went with me. I would buy tickets for my family to come there.
You know what? Tyler could type this in. I'm going to ask this question because he was at a convention a week or two beforehand, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Whoa, Mr. Simmons. You can't throw a Volkswagen in there, period. I've had my Volkswagen 10 years, and it is still running great.
Yeah, so that's
okay. You go from a Gremlin to a Cadillac. How about that?
Okay, I'll take that.
Okay. So, and I understood that because he still had a lot more stuff and everything. He had a lot more room and stuff like that. I want to point out something with Skyler, though. Because he was at a convention a week or two before this one. He said, bring up his question real quick. It was good because you could stick around all day. It's not like you got kicked out the door right away after you met somebody. Has that happened at the other one that you went to, Skyler? I'm just curious on that, where that is coming from on it. But that's the thing. It's like, and they're not like rushing you through or anything like that, like
Gotcha.
WWE signings are and everything like that, because these stars know that it's not about it's about the experience more than everything. They still got to make money. That's why they're there for it. But it's about the experience more than anything.
So, would you rather have the old hotel, which I still got to do my research? I thought that the Aviator was getting ready to shut down or has shut down.
Remember the tornadoes that happened in your area 2 months ago?
Yeah.
I know somebody that was trying to find a hotel, and they messaged me and said, the Aviator y'all had the FanFest at was closed. So at least 2 months ago, it was already closed.
Yeah. Well, if they can't get their HVAC in line, then I guess no one wants to stay to bake during the summertime.
I thought the price was very reasonable. I mean, some of.
Yeah, I was going to say that Herb does make a point though, because the venue was a lot better. It was a lot classier. It was a lot roomier.
Oh, hold on, Herb.
Okay.
Was the Cadillac the one that you and Tony used to ride the shows with the wives in the backseat? I'm just kind of curious because he told that story at the Midwest Wrestling Hall of Fame. I think he told that story. I'm just kind of curious if that's the same car on it. I'm just really kind of curious on that. But no, and I agree. It's like everybody was like, the ones that complained is like, but would you rather have a better hotel or would you rather sweat and have everybody so miserable that they don't want to do a whole hell of a lot?
Yeah, so they're out of business.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you have to wonder, I mean, it's like either they didn't turn it on or it was on and just wasn't working and they didn't want to fix it. Why rent out something if people can't be comfortable for that stuff?
Bro, that's a little gross.
I didn't mean to hit that.
But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, the room. It almost seemed like the entire between the ballroom and the hallway was twice as large than what the Aviator had. So, that was Lincoln. That's right.
The ballroom was great. It was very well orchestrated. We were able to use it not only for the Bill Abner show, but the event itself. I don't think you replace anything. I thought it was beautifully done. The only thing that some of the autographs were kind of like, dang, that's a lot. But besides that, like it was.
That's also out of Herb's control.
I
know that's not.
That's not his doing.
I understand that. That's not Herb's deal. So I'm not putting shame on him. That was my only like bummer. But like Ricky Morton and them, they were like $40, and they just sat there and chat with you. Like so, like that was awesome.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say this, and this definitely doesn't reflect any part of the show, but we know about. I mean, we know about the tornado that came through here, right? Exactly.
That too happens.
Well, we're talking about the talent that was booked for this show, right?
And the talent was huge.
Friday afternoon, a big mile-wide tornado came through St. Louis, and more hit through the city. And there was actually an overhead. There's like a window shot from the arch that points out west that even showed this tornado that is literally a mile wide, and it was going through the city. And that's why some of these buildings, and that's why, a few people died plus, I mean, and it's affected more than just us. It ripped through other towns as well. So the weather was a bearing of some people not showing up. One being the one I was most looking forward to was Kevin Von Erich. That's the only one I really wanted to to really have an experience with.
But it was out of our control.
Yeah, and like it's out of our
completely out of control.
But for ones who like didn't show, and as far as some of the one of the newer guys that's not part of WWE.
Yeah, I'm not throwing the comparison out here on the air, but yeah, that was just a dick move.
I'm sorry. And my thing is, if I'm just hoping it's not the case that someone had paid for your ticket to come down and you don't even show up at the terminal, That's a total D move right there.
Mhm.
You can fill in whatever D word you want, but don't even do that, man. So I mean, I don't know. If I'm sorry, man, don't even get me in a free boy. You would have the wrath of God coming at you if you did something like that to me, boy. Because I will not be happy, especially if a ticket's like non-refundable. If I lose money with somebody not wanting to show, I would be freaking livid. So, yeah. So checked out or never showed up. That's still not the case, but that's neither here or there. That's the only thing but like I said, it's not reflected upon Herb or anybody at SICW FanFest for some people not showing up because it was either their responsibility for not doing it or it was weather related and they couldn't get around it. And like I said, Kevin Von Erich had the same issue. As far as like the connecting flights and all, and trying to, this whole mess. So I mean, that did kind of suck.
And it would have took him to the next day to get there, but by the time he would have gotten there, he would have had to rush everything instead of taking the time to spend time with everybody like everybody else was doing.
Yeah, that's and you don't want an experience like that, especially if he wanted to get in there and
I mean, there's always other shows of Herb's that he could probably bring him in on, or of course, there's also.
There's always the 4.
Yeah,
There's always the 4.
Herb
that's
is
also
going to send Attila and others after us and beat our asses for this.
I mean,
I'm not scared of Herb as much as I'm scared of his wife. So,
yeah. I mean, I already said to me, and if Attila comes to my table and gets me, I'm saying it may start at my table. It's going to finish in the ring. I'm telling you that right now. So,
we'll just keep that in mind there. I mean, and we'll have this.
No, I'm not afraid. I'm 50. I don't give a damn at this point in my point in my life. I will fight tooth and nail. I don't care. I don't care.
Now, it'd be great if Herb could book that match in Japan, and all of us should go with you. And, that way we can go to the.
Booking in Illinois, it's the same rules. And you know what I'm talking about, Missouri? I will. Yes, that is shots fired at Missouri.
Hey, look at the bright side. Hey, we had a better state guy there this one, so just saying.
No, my state guy is Bill. Big Bill's my state guy. He knows who he is.
Well, no, he's not bad. I like him too. He's not bad.
What are we talking?
But at least those two state guys don't need Splenda. Anyway,
hey, dude, before we do go further, I want to say let's be with the families and stuff of St. Louis right now too. Why they do recover from that horrific tornado that came through in that storm. Because crazy story, we literally hit Troy, and the wife and I finally made the decision that we were not going to the zoo that day.
Oh my God!
So I had all plans and intention to take my wife to go see the baby elephant at the zoo Friday. Oh. She wanted to go. Her and I, that's always been one of our things. So we were going to come down early. We got a late start. We had to be at the hotel at 4. So Amy's like, I don't know if, we don't have enough time. So we ended up going to the Mid-Rivers. And also shout out to my girlfriend, Vanita, who said she had a dream about me that said not to go to the zoo too. So I took heed and turned ship, but I want to be with those people. Hopefully the zoo's cleaned up. The daughter and I go down Friday to the zoo. So that's a big staple thing for us.
I'm actually checking on it right now. Looks like one of the major damages was the butterfly area for the zoo.
That and also I don't know,
yes, this is what I'm ready for. I'm ready for this. Let's do this, Herb. Let's rebuild St. Louis, and I am so in. I know an organization that wants to. We just got to make sure it all works out in everybody's favor. That's it. I want to learn from you guys.
And Herb, I talked with other people that came in from other organizations and all that. It's like, why aren't you not represented here either? Let's work together on this stuff. I mean, you can still do your own thing on your shows, but work together. It's like everybody has a different thing for people to be a fan of and watch.
Yeah.
Because Herb does the old school. He doesn't do hardcore and all that. There's companies that do that. There's companies that this and everything. Why not support everything and just be there for that and the fans alone?
Yeah.
It warms my heart to think about it.
Yeah. So now that we've been looking at Devon for quite a while now.
He's a good-looking dude, man. He's still in great shape. He could whip
Yeah,
all three of our asses.
I've just been lazy.
Okay, maybe not Ruby. He's still ring ready.
No, I totally, yeah, I agree. Well, if we're gonna go back here, freaking Hardys have actually put out a challenge to the Dudleys for one more time.
Yeah,
I think
I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see it.
I'm waiting for Jeff to gracefully fall in this one. I don't know where.
A crouton. I can't get that out of my head. Matt should never have said that.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Anytime he does one now, I do not. Anytime he throws a swanton, I legitimately do not call it a swanton anymore. It is 100% called a crouton.
Crouton. It's gonna crumble somewhere. All right, GQ, are you ready for this one?
It's Matt Hardy's fault.
All right. So we showed the house standing with the shirt, right? Yeah, now that 10 minutes has passed by, Skylar, I finally put the shirt on.
Look at that father-son photo. I'm sorry. I love it. Ricky's so much fun.
Leave my stepdad alone, bro.
He's so much. Him and Robert, dude, your uncle's Robert Gitson. Come on.
Hey, you're lucky I had a lot of flying to do to get back home and all that, or I would have already been photo editing and put the Rock and Roll Express picture right next to the red shirt you.
Dude, you should do that. That should be the end of the shirt. Retire it. Do a shadow box. Put this photo in the shadow box. Give the shirt to Ruby, so it's that because that's cool.
It's like
I'm not. It's mine.
The only time it's going to come out when I get all three of them to sign it. I didn't get a chance to, but.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if we ever do, that's the only time we get shadow boxed if we get Robert, Ricky, and myself, and I'll sign it as Rock and Roll Rick Ruby, of course.
Yes. I have an 8x10 of it already signed by Rock and Roll Rick Ruby. I'm just saying.
10 minutes.
So Boogeyman's got an idol.
Yeah, I need to hear this. Who's Boogeyman's idol?
Oh yeah, remember we were talking about the crumbs and everything with Ruby.
I need to know this, Herb.
We're not doing that on the show, Alan. Just saying.
Oh, but just parade me around there, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, they were Ruby and GQ ordered some QFC. I'll do it.
This is why I told a certain promoter for ACW that I do it with this outfit instead of an all-white one that he wanted me to do. I'm just saying. He was thinking
GQ.
Boss Hog, and I knew where I was going to go with the other
GQ. Really? Actually, you can kind of see it in his wrestling style, if you think about it. I can see it. That's pretty cool. The Bruiser Brody Battle Royal this year was phenomenal. And old Jeffries won.
Oh yeah. Let's. Where am I? Oh yeah. Let's kind of put that.
We're gonna be nerding out for this while. Yeah, look at that.
There you go. Yep. So it was him and Attila the last two, and I was surprised because I did not think that he was going to come away with that win, but I was shown wrong.
Who was the last one eliminated?
It was
Attila.
Mr. Attila Khan himself.
Oh,
And it was a drop kick over the top rope.
Drop kick over the top rope that sent him
flying.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Look at his entrance. He was hyping it up, man. I dig the Jeffries. This is going to make... I apologize now, Herb, for what I'm about to say. I'm kind of sad that Glenn Williams did not get the cup, but bygones can be bygones. He got bullied out of there, like usually, but good win, Mr. Jeffries. Good win. James Jeffrey.
Yeah, so James...
Look at Barbara with the cup, presenting it to Mr. Jeffries.
It is good. Since day one when he started doing stuff with Barbara and everything, good to see her get out and do this and to honor Brody and everything.
Yeah, keeping her husband's legacy alive, like it should be.
That's the way to do it, right?
100%.
That's the way to do it. Man, so what else do we have? Let's see what else we got here for you.
You got one of us with quiche.
Oh crap! Man, I'm.
Oh, he's missed a lot of stuff, and don't forget that one thing for the poster to talk about.
Dude, we're going to be dropping things through the crack, unfortunately, because the FanFest packed I feel like it packed 7 days of wrestling, just love and joy in 3 days. Oh, that's a great photo.
See, look, yeah. So we got a new photo together, right? Finally got a new photo together. It's all four of us together. That they're like, hey,
almost had all of us wearing a Falls Count Everywhere shirt.
I apologize. I wanted to wear the shirt. I had to adjust because somewhere my shirt poofed. It vanished. It disappeared. And I'm not a thief like you and steal shirts, Mr. Big Money. So I had to rock the We Talk Wrestling shirt. Still bought to you by our good friend over the Woke brand, Terry Russell. So go over there and pick your shirts up still today. See, that's how you do it right there.
Oh, no, I'm not admitting that at all, Skylar, because I don't argue with children. Just saying.
wow.
Just saying.
Okay.
Did you pay him? Did you pay him like Glenn Williams tried to pay Bill Abner to say he was his favorite wrestler? My guy, come on.
You love the fact that I told the Jewish guy that it was in German money.
Yeah, you're kind of an ass.
and the Ove afterwards is like, okay, that was perfect. Okay, did perfect good.
Still terrible comebacks.
I'm being professional on our show here. Just saying.
Yeah, you can't even get the show to work.
So here's the caricature that.
Oh yes. Oh, is that for FanFest 4? Predicting.
Yeah.
FanFest 4 where we have two archers apparently. So
It's the double arch.
But what's on Austin Cage's shirt? What's on that? I mean,
it's a hot dog, not a handshake.
It's a burnt bagel from the bagel place at the airport.
it's a burnt bagel. That's crazy.
I had to work on that a little bit because the original one that it said, how I was reading it, it's Space Coast Elevators. Instead of Falls Count Everywhere. It's like, no, let's fix this right now.
Space Coast Elevators live every Sunday.
This, Mr. Simmons, touching moment as Ron Powers accepted his spot in the St. Louis Hall of Fame. And
with the Sam Muchnick Award.
Yep, the Sam Muchnick Award. Divulging out. Can I say it here, or would I be wrong to say it here? Because I think our thoughts and prayers still need to be with Mr. Ron Powers as he accepts this award, because he did divulge some very touching things.
It was divulged publicly,
So where he had prostate cancer and has been fighting back with that, got to get back in the ring with his dear friend when him and Gary Jackson and Danny Boy took on Haku, Barbarian, and Attila Khan. So well deserved. That dude dresses sharp, by the way, too. Like, kudos to his tailor. hands down, a great individual. And I got to share again with him and shake his hand and tell him that it's still a great memory to me when I was on this show for the first time. And Mr. Ron Powers was on the show with Mr. Simmons. I don't remember what we were promoting, but he told me to run instead of getting into the business, and it's still a memory to me, and still something that I hold. So
it was the Midwest Hall of Fame.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, which I believe we share in the same class for that. And let's see, the Giant Assassin, Mr. Big, and Cowboy Bob Orton. So there's a little bad boy right there. Always going to be
Nice.
Always going to love it. It's always kept close to me. Special little drawer in my desk. So always going to have that. So that's one championship that I can't. Well, at least others will have it. So let's see here. What about let's do a couple others here. First off, bro, you and the wife.
Yes.
But Lilith Khan, boy.
Well, Lilith Khan was doing her pose. Them two were praying that she wouldn't attack them. So
Yeah. I was nervous. Dude, her and Miss Hyde from ACW. Holy cow! So
yeah.
From start to finish, the matches were stellar. Nothing was wrong. Like it was. I truly felt like we were back in the old days watching just gritty, professional wrestling. And it was beautiful. But Miss Hyde and Lilith Khan legitimately tried to destroy each other. There was Brody and Abdullah the Butcher standing right in front of me in female form just beating the hell out of each other. And that's what I saw. And it was a beautiful thing. Those two women deserved a standing ovation. Beautiful match.
Yeah,
well, you had to stand. You had to get out of the way before you got hit.
No, I mean they fought around the ringside. Like we weren't, but we snuck up and just did it because she was. So
let's just say Lilith Khan, one of the notable chops of the night. I mean, she lit up.
Oh my god, dude! She hit Miss Hyde so hard.
And loud, bro. I had my eyes popping when I heard it.
She's amazing. Be warned, be worried.
It was only a 3.5 minute match that ended in a double count out, but
because they just beat the holy hell out of each other. There was no stopping them.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Shoot, but no, like I said, this lady here is she keeps going down that same path and actually making improvements in her path. She is going places. So
100%.
Yeah. So I totally agree with that. So here's probably somebody that Herb is not going to like to see. So Glenn Williams receiving the Worker of the Year award. I thought that this was I thought he put this on as a joke first off when he posted this in Facebook, but there's literally a plaque he got for Worker of the Year. And then he proceeds to do this very long promo, and pretty much how he knew he did deserve this award. He doesn't thank people, and and
then he got put in his place by your uncle.
Yeah, well,
Robert Gibson did knock his teeth out.
It's something about that, poor Glenn, he's stepping up to these legends like Buff Bagwell and now Robert Gibson. It's called giving a pet puck. No kidding, right? No kidding. But yeah, just getting popped in the jaw, freaking got hit from Buff at the MAC last year, and now he's getting hit by Robert Gibson. So
Cruella de Vil. The man is sharp dressed. Don't disrespect Glenn Williams.
Oh, man. Hey, man, don't hate the jacket. Yeah, no, yeah, the
No,
ref-
no.
yeah,
It was
no,
a nice little pop.
absolutely not. So, yeah, he can pop. And let's not mention that also on the show that we were kind of discussing this today that Bill Apter took a little cheap shot at him too.
On
So,
our show. Yeah, he
yeah,
was Glenn was getting popped by everybody for no reason. And then Sean Vincent later on the night hits him with a chain. Come on.
right. But the argument, of course, is going to be Sean's argument is that he's the one that brought it in. But I'm sorry, if you're the one that grabs it doesn't matter who brings it in. If you grab it and you use it and you do it right in front of the referee, you deserve to be disqualified, Sean. Dude, that's
Sean,
not smart at all.
all I'm saying is Sean Vincent can't play into the mind games. Don't
The
be the veteran on this one, Sean. Like you played
forget-
right into his area
Sean forgets
for
what
no
he
reason.
trained him. Sean
Because of the
forgets what he
emotion.
taught
Yeah.
Glenn Williams. I mean,
Sean has it. I believe in Sean, but you can't play the game with him because he's unfortunately right now a step ahead of you.
And the only thing, the most shining moment that Sean had in that match was his new gear, and that was it. You know,
The new gear was fat.
I mean,
Sean looked like a star.
he did, but his wit that night, I think his mind wasn't in the right.
Yeah, his
place.
emotions weren't there.
Yeah.
Glenn touched on things that should not be touched on in the wrestling world. It's off limits. But Glenn did it knowing, because Sean's such a good teacher, knowing that it was going to get here, and it threw Sean off. And Glenn's still the champion. So be careful. That's all I'm saying. Glenn's a testy one.
I would say. But no, I mean he's still a Central States champ. And what was the what did I see here? Saw the two.
He does feel he got bullied out of the Battle Royale. That everybody was against him. So he's in his emotions now too. Glenn is. So he might be weak for the taking because he feels like he got bullied.
Oh yeah, of course he always feels that. Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, and then of course we have Bobby D defending successfully against Superstar Steve Fender.
you gotta admit that was a good match there.
Yeah, that was a good match. So
Yeah.
oh my God, yeah, let's talk about this for real. We were just talking, like I said, as far as the way how Brandon Bretta's been presenting himself. The Brandon Bretta match, yes, against Jason Breed. What? You were talking about that too, Z, about how good this match was.
That match was. Beretta was on another level. Breed continues to keep on cooking, and these two were going back and forth, back and forth. Beretta then just takes it strictly business again and just beats the dog tar, unfortunately, out of Breed, and got one over on him. It took a long time. Breed impressed the shit out of me that night.
Yeah.
He took Beretta to the limit. That much. Beretta got it that much. Killer match.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the game for quite a while.
Yeah.
Starting off in another gimmick with GCW during that time. So I mean, he's roughly got at least 20 years in the business.
Which, if you think about it, it's kind of funny. You both met your stepdads this weekend, and
That's funny. You talking about him with Devon?
yep.
That'd be funny. I told him, I said, I dare you to go out to Devon. I said, Dad, you finally brought the milk.
You guys are terrible.
I'm trying to see if I can find that though too. Not for the show, just for our chat.
He's always been one to watch, but Beretta and him tore it up, and I was just impressed by the match. Those two worked well together. Bretta's a freaking machine. They talk about the Performance Center building superstars. Beretta got billed right out of St. Louis, and that guy is going to take the world by storm.
So, well, we're gonna do just one last, probably just a quick wrap on this here very shortly. But before we do that, things going on this coming weekend. I know it's Memorial Day, and we will next week we'll be recapping the a Saturday night's main event along with NXT Battleground, and we'll see if we're going to be able to get a guest, but we'll see with Memorial Day weekend. But with this being in here, this coming Saturday is RCW's Honor and Legacy Memorial Show for Frank Reed. That's going to be at the Lit. Good Lord, I can't make my.
It's not the it's at the school.
It's at the school, right?
School.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
That's
at
why I'm
the
double-checking to make
Simmons
sure.
Gymnasium at the
Yep.
at the high school.
Correct.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I wish they kind of made this a little bit better, but we'll work with it. But yeah, adult tickets $12, kids tickets $10. They're all at the door.
And it's an honor of Frank Reed, who gave a lot of people their starts and stuff. Ruby being one of them, Z being another. And Frank was the third promoter I worked for after Steve Murphy and Carol Brown. But he was also the longest that I've worked with off and on. And it's just so much. He's got one that got me doing commentary and stuff like that. And I've won so many gold for my guys and everything in the matches there. So definitely want to come see it. I heard a lot of people coming out of the woodwork for it. Pretty Boy Floyd's retirement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Beast is not able to make it right now, as far as I know. He's having some issues. But apparently, Matt Maniac is having some people there to take that spot. So we'll see what the hell he has reserved. You know, you have War appearing again. I believe he's taking on PT Beckham. Correct. So,
yeah. And then of course they'll be crowning their heavyweight champion in the Battle Royal or the Rumble or whatever. So because Chris X has had to vacate the title due to other wrestling commitments. Mm-hmm. So we got to talk with Chris about that.
And then Ruby would be at the other side of the Midwest in a private show.
Yeah, so sorry. If you are a owner at Lost Valley Lake Resort and you've already booked that weekend, you'll get a chance to pay admission to see the show. I don't know what I'm guessing tickets are $10. I don't know. But once again, there's only two owners of Lost Valley Lake Resort in Owensville, Missouri. But that's where I will be this coming Saturday. That's actually going to be an afternoon show starting at 4 p.m. With doors opening at 3. So,
and that is my daughter's birthday party. So,
happy birthday! Is it Evelyn or Mia?
Yeah. Evelyn actually, her birthday was May 9th. With how busy this month has been, we asked her if she'd be so cool to have it on Memorial Day weekend. So that's what we're doing. So I will not make it to the RCW show, unfortunately. I wish I could because Frank riding me around Quincy when he was doing shows up here was like one of my favorite things. Like I was so willing to help up here for him with it and learn. So it was a cool moment, and I have a lot to appreciate for that man.
Absolutely. So, like I said, he gave me my start here too. Obviously, that the rock and roll gimmick is what he gave me, and well, I just took it from what I could from there. So,
but then you joined 3D Incorporated and got rid of the rock and roll.
Oh yeah, that was probably one of my best moves. I'm sorry, not sorry, but that was one of my best moves. That was fun. That was a fun faction to be in. Our gear was pretty awesome too. So, just saying, loved it. But no, man. So one takeaway from you guys. What was the best? If you could had one best takeaway from this weekend, I'll start with GQ. What was one of the best takeaways you had from this weekend at SICW FanFest 3?
I want to say the guests that we were able to pull onto the show.
Yeah.
The two that I would say would be Mac Davis and David Wills.
Yeah.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah. And, we may even have him on the show here someday.
Yeah, we were in the process of talking with that.
That would be cool, dude, to nerd out with him a little bit and talk about his favorite stuff and about that.
Well, and I would say the one thing that he said during the show talking about is how much wrestlers or just talent alone in the industry put their bodies through and everything like that. And he's one of the ones that shows the gratitude for that more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just saying, "Oh, you need to do more," no, he loves what they've done, despite the fact that it was putting a lot onto their bodies through a lot, and that's what more fans really need to think like that, in my opinion. Maybe I might be nicer to them. You never know, But
I mean, I'm a very non-biased person. Even the wrestlers I don't like, I understand why people like them. Whatever.
And Z, what about
hold on.
you?
Skylar says finally
Skylar.
getting to hang out with you guys and we talk wrestling. In talk wrestling. Sorry. And then his favorite moment was definitely Mr. Briscoe.
Yeah.
He was, dude. He was wanting that to happen, so he manifested the shit out of that. I remember him texting me like 3 days prior. Like he's like, I want this to happen. I hope this can happen. And sitting. So I'm glad he got that moment.
And for the record, I may have started the fire, but he had more fuel on it when he was the one that pulled over Ricky Morton to just saying, it was him too.
Yeah, there's a reason there shouldn't be two bad guys in a room.
Right.
I mean, I'm with Skylar on this one a little bit. The ability to have all four of us together was awesome.
Because you don't have technical difficulties that way, and you can actually be on the show.
No, we had technical difficulties. That's not the issue. We have gremlins.
I'm talking about the reason why we don't have all four right now. I'm just saying.
Right.
I'll remind you of some of the technical difficulties we had going right before I wanted to go on, but that's okay.
But no, the going together. But for me, the weekend really the cream of the crop for me was having my wife there with me the whole time. I'm very family oriented.
First year, or she wasn't?
This was her first time coming. I tried to get her to go last year with me. She's like, no, I'm not doing it. And so I went by myself. Like I said, Chase came with me the first year, which was awesome because finally getting to do something that him and I, that's my son and I nerd over wrestling. Like we talk about it all the time, and it's fun to lay out wrestling figs. I'm going to do it again with him, I think. I'm going to record a video where one time we laid out figs, and he had like all of my wrestlers. He did it himself. I didn't do it. So he laid out my figs, 10 figs that I would like. And then he laid out his 10 figs. And the funny part was the 10 figs before were 100% correct, and then his was almost like the opposite of mine. So it was like the guys I didn't like, and it was just fun because we played off on that. And now that I get to shove it in his face, that seems always been the bad guy. It's a beautiful thing. So, but no, having my wife there was definitely the cream of the crops for me.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll tell you this, and I'll remind. And this is, like Friday afternoon was tough getting the news about my vehicle, about what's going to need to be done with it, and literally. I was Alan was actually in the driveway as I was trying to get my stuff together, and I couldn't get everything else together. But GQ knows what happens in a certain call I got, and after that, was literally I literally wanted to just sit in my house and just have a bet. I mean, I was just not in a good spirit, but. Let's just say there was a certain call and interaction with certain people who see me before. That really perked my spirits up, and all of a sudden just gave me the fuel just to push through
I'm going
and
to
get
work
through
on
this
something for
weekend.
that also, Skylar.
Yeah. And like I said, if it wasn't for Alan, if it wasn't for Z, and of course your lovely wife, getting to things I needed to get done and the transportation and the haul I needed, none of this crap would have happened. So I'm very very grateful for you guys. I really
Well,
am.
well, Ruby, none of this happens without you. So we love you, and giving back to you and supporting you in any way, form, and fashion is a car ride's nothing to me. The car ride's more time. We got to listen to my wife rib you and you two crack jokes was freaking hilarious. To sit at yesterday's and just gag with the waitress, who was a sweetheart, by the way.
Dude, that place is a bomb. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was. We had an amazing time. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. We got to watch wrestling. You and I got to sit there and be fans and just watch wrestling. I heard you back there. Don't even try to say you weren't doing it.
No, I never
So
did.
like, it was wonderful to be able to forge stronger bonds, make new bonds, rehash old bonds, if you would say. Dude, the friendship's there. The realness is there. We're going to take this to the fucking moon. There you go. There you go, Austin. I threw your F-bomb out there for you, buddy.
Yeah. So just there was just a lot of great moments this year, but the one that just topped it for me is to get everybody who has poured their time and their effort and to be with me on Sunday nights, and to finally for us to be there all together live in person for this live on location broadcast at the FanFest. Just having you guys there just meant the world. It did.
I'd do it
And,
again. I'd do it again 100 times over.
you know,
Plus, we got rubs. We got rubs this year real good. We rubbed real good.
Well, you know what? We know when the next one's going to happen for us.
Yeah, next year.
yeah. And like I said, if we had sponsorships and everything else, man, I would still would like to head up toward Indianapolis for Squared Circle Expo if that was
Oh,
even
dude,
a
that'd be
possibility.
that'd be like that's our next holy grail right there, bro.
Yeah,
Let's start chasing it.
I mean, I've never really been to Indy, but I mean, really that place is going to start. I mean, they already got the Royal Rumble. Now are they eventually going to be getting a SummerSlam and a WrestleMania too? Right? Where they had that whole city agreement.
I think that's rumored, but
no,
I would like to.
I think it's in place.
Yeah.
I think I don't know when it is, but I know that probably WrestleMania is going to be within the next few years. Definitely not the Royal Rumble next year because that's over in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Which
Wrestling's on the growth. There's a lot of healing that still needs to be done, and I think we're all on the right path. I think minds are changing. I think growth is coming, and we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
That's truly how I feel, 100%.
Yeah.
This is one of my holies. We need to get there.
That's on our bucket list. We've not hit yet too.
Yep.
That's the next one.
Yeah. And
then I say Vegas.
I mean, that's in the future, but I'm sorry, it's not going to happen this year. That's going to be in 7 weeks, and the big hurdle over that is that's usually over the weekend of me and my wife's anniversary. That's the big thing, That's the thing that sucks, and there's just a lot that has just crashed down and just there's a lot of 2025 has put a lot of hurdles for me in so many ways and aspects, and I'm still trying to jump. Trust me, I'm tripping as I'm trying to jump, but I'm making my way over it eventually. But there's just a lot in front of me, and I got to get over that. And hopefully, this stages out for a better 2026. So, Waterloo, Iowa is not too far for you, Z.
No, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I
would
would
love to be at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. I definitely would.
My issue is conflictingness with a wedding of somebody.
I believe everything happens in due time. my place will show up, and when it does, and I'll take a hold of that golden ring, and I will do my best to shine as bright as I can.
Shoot, and if I even had the way of getting equipment down to the biggest one that I've been to, the Cauliflower Alley Club.
That's why I said Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, that would be just stupendous to get those two off the bit. I would want those two before we ever did the expo. I'm going to throw out my.
You know what? I totally agree. I'm going to
throw out my manifestation.
Like I said, I mean, CAC and National Wrestling Hall of Fame is a tour between number 1 and 2. So, look at that!
Wow.
So
hot off the press, Glenn Williams taking on James Jeffries for the Central States title on July 19th.
That's up that weekend.
Woo, tell you what, boy.
Glenn's making strides too, boy. He's finding a way, right? I mean, he's gonna be on that showcase for that weekend. So, I mean,
this is gonna be a good match.
Iowa is considered a central state. It is considered a central state too.
Correct.
Iowa.
Correct. It is one of
three central states championship.
No, I don't remember.
I don't know. I think it's Kansas, Iowa, Missouri, and Illinois.
I want to say that's right. Is Indy? No. Yeah, Indy's not in it. Indiana's not in it.
No.
I think you're right. I think that's the ones, the 5.
Either I did make Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Tennessee like Mid-States Heritage Championship one time.
Okay.
Yeah, too bad I don't have that belt no more.
That's nice. That's crazy, man. Now I kind of want to go up there. I gotta figure out if I can.
I can
shuffle.
Even though I may not have if I get the money again, I would love to just create that belt and just get like new logos on it. So, yeah, SICW premieres in Waterloo, Iowa. That'd be great.
That's gonna be sick. Is that going to be a recorded show? May I ask Herb? Like, so let's say we don't get a chance to get up there. Is it going to be a way for us to
maybe like on a delay, maybe, or like next week or whatever? I don't know. I don't know who's producing the show, but that would be awesome.
Because that's what I'm about to. I had a rough day today, and I got home from St. Louis getting the kids, and I passed out. So
yeah, home with them sleep.
I took a nap. Zmiz doesn't usually take naps, but I missed the show, so I'm about to go watch SICW All Star after we get off of here. But I would love to see that. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, but for those who have helped out here this weekend, thank you very much once again for helping out. And like I said, it's the biggest and best one yet that's went in the books. And you know what they do every year? You want to try and go bigger and better.
Yeah.
So if you start seeing $60 tickets, people just shut up and buy it. Stop complaining.
And big shout out to Alan Williams, who was our backup this year and really supported us. So big shout out, Alan.
Helping with the setup. Not just with me getting me back and forth with my equipment, but setting up there as well. So Alan, we thank you very much as well. So
whoa, no. JBL in action with Wes Briscoe?
Oh wow.
I think he's going to turn on him because you know how Texas and Oklahoma work together. So
really well, actually, because his dad and JBL have a podcast.
So go back and listen to when we were talking with Gerald.
I know. I'm trying to make it. JBL's one of my. That's one of my holy grail wrestlers. Really, like that's. Anytime on We Talk Wrestling, somebody says something that like I don't always agree with or something, or like I'll be like, thank the wrestling god. Like, not agree with, but like. Let's say Mercedes Moné loses.
What did you say about Mercedes Moné?
So anytime like somebody I don't like or something happens, like Mercedes Monet lost her gold and she's a little bit less of a champion. Now I posted it and I said thank the wrestling god because
Oh,
JBL is the wrestling god. Remember? Come on,
right.
one of the greatest promos that man ever did. I am a wrestling god. What?
So you better not be putting that girl on a pedestal. She don't deserve it.
Why would I? Me? Come on. I can respectfully say Nia Jax has gotten better. I will. It's going to take a while for her to make me a promoter for her.
How about no?
How about no, Scott?
Well, guys, once again, we thank you everybody for watching this evening and also for chiming in. Hopefully, we've given you enough coverage here, but I'll tell you what, FanFest 3. If you were not there, you missed a great. You missed.
Dude, we could do like the next 3 shows about FanFest 3. In all honesty.
Yeah, one of those we're just going to talk about how much we want FanFest 4. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Wow, yeah, Devil Axe and Smash Demolition will be in the house as well, up at Waterloo. So
Wow.
so that's gonna be good times. That's gonna be good times, and
That's the next one. That's the next one we'll chalk off.
Yeah. So we'll definitely work toward it here. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys. Once again, we thank you very much for joining us here this evening. Make sure you guys pass the word along if you've already done it yourselves. Follow, like, and subscribe to us, man, because we were getting close to that 1,000 follower page, and for some reason we're getting people to fall off. I don't know what's happening.
We'll get there.
With that,
we'll get there. We'll get back there.
We'll get back there. We're passing it along here. Once again, thanks to Austin Cage, Christopher Howe from We Talk Wrestling as well. Them two coming up, of course, Alan Williams with IEW sharing, helping us set up, and then helping me get to and fro from the places I needed to be. Was patient along with my needs. So thank you very much for that. GQ, of course, is always, like I said, if Ricky Morton says you're putting the shirt on, you're putting the shirt on. So, and of course, also thanks to Herb Simmons for making this a spectacular event, and making it better as each year as it goes. And like I said, it would be really great. It would be really grateful and very blessed to have an SICW FanFest 4. You don't even have to ask about our participation because we're going to be there. So, Z, pull it off again, buddy. Like I said, another great time, and you coming down. It's always when we get together. It's always cool just to hang out and just talk in person, and it's always great. It's like I said, personal interaction is a lot better than I'll take over the camera any day, or even when we're putting each other into the wall. When GTA Friday nights was Zmiz canceled gaming. So
yep. Hey, but we're doing it, man. We're going big. We're shooting for the stars, and we're doing it as a group, and that's awesome. Because, like I said, there's things I couldn't have done last year if it wasn't for GQ. There's things I cannot do without you. So everybody that was needed in this experience was needed. I think everybody else will see, and if we can promote and keep promoting this and cultivating relationships and start breaking down some of these walls between companies, and we start working together, I truly believe we have something special here. I think there's something very, I'm going to say the word again, healing, that is happening, and people can either be on board or they can continue their own ways. Otherwise, we're going to go for the stars, and we're going to keep shooting for those stars.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And much love and vibes to Pepper. Hopefully you keep getting better, Pepper, and staying healthy.
Damn straight.
Poor Pepper had it rough.
Damn straight.
Yeah, we love that. We make chicken salad from chicken shit. Yeah.
As my dad
Just
said,
love
we
it.
can always polish a turd.
A purd? What's a
I
purd?
said a purd, but my tongue got stuck, man. Leave it alone.
Just don't spray.
Cottonmouth.
Just don't spray Glade over a turd because it's.
On that note,
it's still gonna
goodbye,
be a
everybody.
turd.
Anyway.
You can always
Guys,
polish a turd.
Thank you very much for joining us. We're gonna get out of here, and we'll be back next
I
week
like that. Chicken
with a
salad,
guest or
chicken.
not. We don't know, but follow, like, and subscribe for GQ and the Gem City Mouse Zmiz. I'm Rough Cut Rick Ruby. Thank you very much for joining us.
Bye.
Have a great week coming up, and make sure to enjoy your Memorial Day on Monday. So, guys, thank you very much, and we
My
will
wife
see
works
you
all weekend.
next Sunday.
Love you guys.
Much love, brother.
I don't know. Chicken salad sounds pretty good.
Just don't get the one with the pecans. You might have a different texture feel.
Hey, I like the pecans and cranberries in them. Mm.
How about some raisins?
Have a good one.
Yep.